Special day today. I'm Gary Sharp at 1620 The Zone and 1620thezone.com. We are joined by the executive director of SHARE Omaha, Do Good Week. You are the overseer of Do Good Week, Marjorie Moss. For people that remember SHARE Omaha and got involved and how popular that was, how do we get from there to this great idea of Do Good Week?
Well, Omaha Gives, hosted by the Omaha Community Foundation, has been a highlight for nonprofits in the metro area for the past 8 years. The Omaha Community Foundation is a good partner of ours, great partner of ours. And between them and Pottawatomie County Community Foundation, they put their strength behind the 365-day platform that is SHARE Omaha, rather than focusing on something that maybe isn't quite their strategic focus right now. They do a lot of grant initiatives, they do a lot of community building work, and to know there's an organization in town, SHARE Omaha, that really focuses on online philanthropy and online engagement with the community all year long, why have duplication? Mm-hmm. And so we're so grateful for their support behind us to really usher in a new giving campaign for the spring. And what we said was the community's still going to want a giving day. And so Do Good Week is kind of our answer. It's an opportunity for us to really showcase all the capabilities of shareomaha.org, that it's not just cash, that it's Amazon wish lists and wish lists for nonprofits that you can buy goods locally or online. And then it's also volunteer opportunities and events. And all of that capability there, we kind of gave each day a little bit of its own focus.
So we get to 6 days. It seems like moving to 6 days, and we'll get more into this about the themes, as every day's got a theme. It also seems the focus, the purpose is still the same, but the focus is more on the education of these different nonprofits, more than just the asking, hey, can you help us out here? Walk us through the mindset of putting together 6 days, but going through the education process to let everybody know how many great and wonderful nonprofits there are in our community.
Wonderful. So as far as the purpose of SHARE Omaha, just to back up for a moment, is not so much to encourage organizations that you already know, but it's to open up opportunities for organizations that are maybe new to you, that are addressing causes that you care about, that you maybe didn't know before. And all the organizations on our site are based on community funding, community support, and broad community support beyond membership or a church congregation or an alumni base, things of that nature. And so what we're trying to do is showcase our 560 nonprofits on our website. We've grown from 156 on day one 2 years ago. And what we're wanting to do for that introduction to them is to allow people to really get to know these nonprofits. So each nonprofit is responsible for their own profile on SHARE Omaha. And the profile has who we are, what we do, fun facts about us, but also for Do Good Week, they're also calling out if they have a match from their board. They're also calling out whether or not they really want to focus on volunteerism and if they have volunteer opportunities for you to take advantage of on their profiles. So it's all based on the information that they supply to us, and I call it the best shopping experience you possibly could have, because you go onto the website and you see who it helps, what the organization does, what it impacts, and then all the causes from A to Z that you can possibly think of. And you can zero in and narrow down that 560 plus nonprofit group down to the handful that touch the exact issue that you want to see addressed in the community. It's a beautiful thing.
How did you come up with the different days of the week to use a theme on who you would showcase or what you were looking for on that particular day?
Well, we knew that there had to be a day or two based on cash, based upon the historic Omaha Gives celebration. And But we knew also that we had an opportunity to talk about those other pieces of functionality. And so we said, we're doing something that I don't believe there's not a lot of software out there that does what SHARE Omaha accomplishes anyway. But there's not a lot of organizations. We can't find another organization in the country that's doing what we're doing as far as this thing we're embarking on with having 6 different days. So Monday is Mission Monday. It's really your opportunity to do that shopping and do that research and find the testimonials and the stories and the videos. Social media is going to be wild that day with nonprofits telling their stories. And then Tuesday is New Donor Tuesday. Make a gift for the first time to an organization that you find on our website whose story maybe captured you the day before. And then Wednesday, we're asking people to think about that day as Wish List Wednesday. We have Amazon functionality on the website, but take those lists as a suggestion. So if there's a local retailer that you want to support, feel free to contact the organization and tell them you're bringing a gift from a local retailer. And then Thursday is probably the biggest stretch of a day, Gary. It's Volun Thursday. So it works out. It's the day that we're talking. It's the day we're talking about volunteering. And volunteering as far as virtual safe volunteering, distanced well-practiced COVID safe volunteering, but also nonprofits are going to be recognizing their volunteers on that day. It's really a day to celebrate the volunteerism of our community, which we know and see every day at SHARE Omaha. And then Friday, it's all about the cash. All about the cash. Fund It Friday. And then based upon the engagement of nonprofits and their success throughout the week, we're doing randomized prizes that we're awarding thanks to Omaha Stakes, First National Bank of Omaha, and Pottawatomie County Community Foundation. Based on the success of the week prior. So we're very excited about that and very appreciative to First National Bank of Omaha for being our presenting sponsor.
And you've got some great partnerships that have been with you for a while. Now the reality is, as we come up on this week, April 19th through the 24th, is we are still in the middle of a pandemic. And with nonprofits, things are getting better and there is light at the end of the tunnel, but we've just gone through the past year. What has it been like for your organization and for these nonprofits that adds to how important this week is going to be for them?
Well, I'll tell you that for us, we, of course, were worried at the beginning of the pandemic if we would be useful. We knew that we were useful in the midst of a crisis in 2019 with the flooding, but we didn't know what 2020 was going to bring us with this pandemic. And what we found out is that SHARE Omaha is pandemic proof. For instance, so we started in March of last year sharing the stories and statistics of nonprofits that had experienced loss and the fundraisers that had been canceled and the doors that had been shuttered and the stages that were dark. And it was so depressing. And what people then came to look to us, and media partners, for instance, KETV, who's sponsoring also Do Good Week, they came to us and said, what can people do? And so we asked nonprofits to start pivoting towards virtual volunteerism. We had the Share at Home campaign, and it was all about what you can do virtually as a volunteer, but also what items to collect, what things to sew, what things to drop off, what you can do, what volunteering was safe at a distance, things of that nature. And an average month for us is 250 volunteer applications. That's a great month of volunteer applications. In April, with the support of the media partners, we had 700 people sign up to volunteer. And if that doesn't give you hope in your city, I don't know what else will. And so we saw nonprofits, of course, that are struggling to meet their bottom lines, to meet that balanced budget that they all go for. But we also saw people really rallying to the cause. And we saw that nonprofit, like our partners at Omaha Gives, for instance, they lowered their transaction fee to their transaction minimum to $1, and they actually had more donors and more cash come through on that day than they'd seen in recent years. So it shows the power of the community. And so we're really hoping that with Do Good Week, we can take some of that energy that we know is there in the community and see it blossom, and see the community really be proud of this resource, SHARE Omaha, that they have, in a way that they can get involved and really support causes that matter to them.
This is a chance for you to brag about your organization, but in this community, which you live in and have been here for a while, they take care of the nonprofits, and your organization spearheads that. Why do you think Omaha, when we compare it to similar-sized cities, is so good in these situations?
Goodness, the macro dynamics of it, Gary. That there are lots of reasons. I think first off, it's a Midwestern value system. I think first and foremost, people in our area of the country take care of each other and have pride in their communities. And not to sound too Pollyanna, but I think there's healthy cynicism, but there's also a desire for improvement. Mm-hmm. And a desire to fix a problem when you see it. And so I love that about living here. The other thing is there is great philanthropic and foundation wealth in Omaha. And the example that they set, for instance, we were founded primarily by the Suzanne Walter Scott Foundation, as well as a partnership with Robert B. Doherty Foundation and the Sherwood Foundation. And those types of foundational partners in the community really spur a lot of action. And when those partners saw that there was a capability of technology to really engage even more people in that spirit that they cultivate for the greater community, we're so grateful that they signed on to support us for these first 3 years.
Now the important thing, when we get to this week, where can people get involved? Where can they go for more information? Where can they plan out their week? So to speak, where do they turn first, and what's the next step?
Really easy. Go to shareomaha.org. It's all right there for you. There's a link at the top of the page to learn some more information, but honestly, if you just dive into the website, you're going to find the nonprofits that you care about. You're going to find the causes and the volunteer opportunities that speak to you. Not to sound too esoteric, but you're going to find a match. You're going to find a fit. And that's the whole point, is to be able to narrow that list down to what it precisely is going to matter to you and your family and your place of business. And then there are nonprofits just doing amazing work. And I would be remiss if I didn't call some of them out. For instance, like Completely Kids, they're really rallying behind the Wish List Wednesday. And they need weekend food for kids. So their wish list is all about those items of non-perishable goods. Take advantage of it. Drop it off, order it through Amazon. The other was Life Launch Academy, and they need your help for Vol on Thursday. What I loved about this is that and maybe some of your listeners will like this, a sports person is what they said. And they said to help paint a standard basketball court on some pavement in the parking lot there near 60th and Sorensen. That sounds like fun. To get a group of people out there.
As long as it's not 100 degrees outside.
Exactly. So maybe do it like in May before it gets ridiculously hot. But the hoop is used by a lot of youth and adults who live in the community, and they'd like to be usable for them by summertime. And this is the same parking lot where Project Hope is located.
Yes, I know where this basketball court is.
Yes. And so and then I think about the organization that is dear to a lot of people's hearts is Make-A-Wish, and they want your support for New Donor Tuesday. Their wishes are still being granted, if you didn't know that. They continue to grant non-travel wishes like campers, play structures, hot tubs, they said, room remodels, playhouses, and shopping sprees. They have 140 wishes needing to be granted currently. So if we can figure out a way for you to find out what it is on the website, shareomaha.org, to dial into precise causes like this, they're going to tell you very plainly on their website what they need. And it could be multiple things. Some of them are like Completely Kids is pushing for Wish List Wednesday, but there's also an opportunity to donate cash. And if I know Completely Kids, there's also an opportunity to volunteer in some events as well.
What about going back to your favorite day, Vol on Thursday? What about a family volunteering?
Well, what's great, if you go to shareomaha.org and you click volunteer in the middle of the website, there's filters that pop up and it says suitable for kids. And if you click that, organizations that have said that this job could be done by 5 to 12-year-olds or 13 to 17-year-olds, it's a great fit for your family. And you can also click individual or group. And so if you have older children, you're not too worried about being appropriate for littler ones. That's a good opportunity as well.
One more time on the website for Do Good Every Day and to learn more.
Yes, shareomaha.org. It's a great website.
That just rolls right off your tongue, like you've done that before.
I don't think I've ever had this conversation like this before. So,
Margie, we appreciate it. We appreciate the partnership here with NRG Media, and we're looking forward to this. It's always been a great day, and now why not do it for a whole week? And so I know this will be met with Do Good Week. We'll definitely do good things.
Thank you so much. I like that. Do Good Week, doing good things. So do good every day. ShareOmaha.org. Thank you, Gary.
Yeah.